Okay, now question 6. Question 6, it's all about financial mathematics. In the description below, uzothola ama-links for amanye ama-questions akhona kule question paper ka-February March 2017 mathematics paper 1. Okay, 6.1. Batikiti, on the second day of January 2015, a company bought a new printer for 150,000 rand. Wow, that's a lot of money for ilukanji printer. But anyway, I think lama printer lawa amakhulu lawa, ne? Lama printer sebenzisa ama toners. Shukuti le printer lena, it's being used by this company to do administrative work, print my paper, print my presentations, or print my reports, stuff like that. So by turn on the second day of 2015, and if we turn this kind of printer, we expect ukuthi ihlale iminyaka eminingi, right? But as a company, kwamele uthi na uthenga any equipment, any office equipment, any assets, any assets or equipment ozobuyisebenzisa ku-office to run i-business yakho, just know that ukuthi kwamele ubeke imali so that you can replace leyo equipment sometime in the future, because uyazi ukuthi the more uyisebenzisa, for instance i-printer idinga i-maintenance, and the more uyisebenzisa iya-deteriorate, angisho ilose i-value, in other words. And then bayaqhubeka bathi ku-6.1, the value of the printer decreases by 20% annually on the reducing balance. Another point, but when the book value of the printer is 49,152, the company will replace the printer. Will replace the printer. Then go 6.1.1, but calculate the book value of the printer on the second day of January 2017. Angisho ilokanje yakho sort of like the book value, like the value yaleyo printer yakho yenzani iluza i-value over time, right? So sifuna calculate leyo book value, the value of that printer on paper, hence the book value on paper ukuthi iba how much. So on a reducing balance, 6.1, this is question 6, financial mathematics. So 6.1.1, what he calculate the book value of the printer on the second day of January. So sithenge nini on the second day of January 2015, then kufuna the value of the same printer how many years later, 2015, 16, 17, 2, in other words it's 2 years later. So therefore as keep it data, we have n, which is equal to, by the way, so inside the formula 80, a is equal to p open bracket 1 minus I exponent n. This is the reducing balance formula. This is the reducing balance formula for calculating a depreciation. So now n is equal to 2 years. So the book value after 2 years, and then we also have interest, which is 20%, but see a converter to a decimal by dividing by 100, right? And then we also have what? We also have the present value, which is 150,000 rand. So therefore sifuna the accumulated amount, or the book value in this case. So A is equal to P is 150,000 open bracket 1 minus interest is 0.20 raised to exponent 1 2. Substitute on that formula. Therefore Punch I calculator 150,000 times 1 minus 0.20 exponent 2. The answer to it's 96,000 rand. So after 2 years, the value of the printer is 96,000 rand. Né? But remember, on the second point, but when the book value of the printer is 49,000, the company will replace the printer. So therefore, you must want the calculations about the printer should replace it after 2 years. So 2 years later, it's 96,000. Maybe 3 years later, maybe 70 something thousand. 4 years later, 60 something thousand, so on and so on. So therefore, I'm anticipating with maybe in 7, maybe 8 years. So then you'll replace a corner the printer. I'm predicting with the printer by 7 to 8 years. Between 7 and 8 years, the value of the printer is over 49. But with 6.1.2, but so pendula the question the question engizama ukuyiphendula through our calculations ukuthi when are we going to replace the printing machine. So 6.1.2, at the beginning of which year will the company have to replace the printer? Show all calculations. So sifuna ukwazi ukuthi le company le izoyireplace nini i-printer yethu. Basitshela on the second bullet point which will replace the day or the year where the printer is reduced to a value of 49,152 rands. 6.1.2. Again, angisho the printer loses a value through what? Through the reducing balance. Through the reducing balance. So it means usebenzisa the same formula. I1 minus I exponent n. In this case, yofuna the value of n. I do have interest, which is 20%. I change it, and then I have the present value, which is 150,000 rand. I do have the accumulated amount, it's 49,152. So was with after how many years will the printer get replaced? 49,152, it's 150,000. 1 minus I 0.20. So this time is for the value of n. So the first thing in I ends so manipulate this equation in such a way that the n becomes the subject of the formula. So 49,152 divided by 150,000, answer quoting 3 decimal places. In 3 decimal places is about 328. Or I think it's so. Instead with me quoting 3 decimal places, I think ballad the whole answer. I round it off. The final answer is over incorrect. Not incorrect, but these will lose some accuracy. So salano 1 minus 0.20 exponent n. So therefore, I log both sides of the equation. The purpose of log is to do what? Is to bring down the n. 0.20 log 0.32768. Divide both sides log 1 minus 0.20 log 1 minus 0.20. So this cancels the salano log 0.32768 log 1 minus 0.20. Answer is equal to 5. So n is equal to 5. Now answer it is equal to 5. So n is equal to 5 years, actually 5 years. So the question, right, at the beginning of which year? So let's count from 2015 at the 5 years from 2015. So 2015 plus 5 is 2020. So therefore at the beginning of which year will the company have to replace the printer? At the beginning of 2020. At the beginning of 2020. Yes, this is the answer, but we need to address the question. Ne? We need to address the question. So we address at the beginning of which year? The beginning of 2020. So 6.1.3. Now, Lanabat again, the cost of a similar printer will be 280,000. Angisho yazi ukuthi isinkwa i-price yesinkwa ya increase every single year. Every single year isinkwa siya increase. Nangabe ukuthi bowuthenga i-Albany nge-15 rand this year. 2 years later, I think uzoyithenga ngaku 20 something rand. By the way, isinkwa sikhuphukile as we speak manje. Last year besi cheaper, so therefore why value loka ye price yesinkwa increase? It's because of inflation. So inflation affects every item on the shelf. Even imoto nayo, well, imoto increase, affect inflation, I think. Well, including even printers now, inflation affect. So therefore, if you bought a printer, this printer in 2015 was worth 150,000 rand. The cost of a similar printer will be, but it will be, due to factors afana nabo inflation rates, the cost of the printer will go up at the beginning of 2020. That's the reason why the value of the printer increases. It's because of factors afana nabo inflation. Now, the company will use the 49,552 rand, 49,152 rand that it will receive for the sale of the old printer to cover for the cost of replacing the printer. So this is what's going to happen on the year 2020 for the company. Ne? On 2020 is for ukuthenga a new printer. Ne? And then as we thenga leyo new printer, nabothenga leyo printer, at the same time bazosala bathengisa or bazosala batrader in the old printer, and then the old printer is worth 49,152 rands. So nangabe ngiyothenga ngizosala trader in the old printer yami. So what's going to happen with the value ozothenga the new printer ngayo, i-value yakhona izo decrease because of uzobe so uphethe nani the 49,000 rand le uzobe uyithola by selling the old printer. So therefore from your own pocket angeke ukhiphe ilokai 280,000 rand. The company set up a sinking fund to cover the balance. Ne? The balance abakhuluma ngayo le, it's the amount also you keep when buying the new printer. Ne? When buying the new print, the fund pays interest at 8.5% per annum compounded quarterly. The first deposit was made on 2nd April 2015. It's quarterly, so big. Quarterly asho unyaka uqala nini. Unyaka wethu uqala on the second day of the month, ne? So it's January, February, March, April. 3 months later they make their first deposit. Why bayenza the first deposit on 2nd April? Because the interest rate is compounded quarterly, and in a year we have 4 quarters, and a quarter A1 in 3 months. That's why I see depositor on the 2nd April of 2015. So in other words, every 3 months when uyofaka imali lapha ku account yakho. That's why we make our first deposit on the 2nd April. And every 3 months thereafter until 2nd January 2020. Now, what you calculate the amount that should be deposited every 3 months to have enough money to replace the printer on 2nd January 2020. Now, that was buzali. Okay. New printer costs, this is 6.1.3. A new printer costs 280,000 rand, né? In 2020. This is happening in 2020. The new printer costs this much. Sale of old printer is equal to 49,152 rands, 0000, ne? So bheka ke nangabe le printer icosta this much, ngoba at the same time nangiyothenga le printer le ngizothola imali for selling the old printer. So therefore nangithi ngifuna ukuthenga the new printer, mina kahle kahle, in other words, asithi ke singayibizani le balance. Ibalance yami nayo 280 minus 49,152 is equal to, so when uyafika esitolo lapha uthi ngizothenga the new printer, but at the same time ngifuna ukutrader in the old printer. So bazoyithatha bayitrade in, what okay, the printer yakho eyidala iworth this much. So nangabe ufuna the new printer ngizodeducta le mali le kwamele ngikunikeze yona, uyabona? So therefore instead of paying this 280 wena uyobhadala u230,848, ne? So by 2020 now set up lelo kanje yakho le sinking fund ngo 2015, ne? Sifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwamele udeposite malini every quarter into the sinking fund in order ukuthi by 2020 wena in your account so nemali engaka. So this is a future value calculation. F is equal to x 1 plus I exponent n minus y divided by I. So in the future ngifuna kuba nale mali le, ne? Ngifuna kuba nale mali le. This will be set up in a sinking fund. This is a sinking fund. On this sinking fund, in the future ngifuna kuba na 238,448 equal to x 1 plus the interest in this sinking fund, it's 8.5, so it's 0,085 divided by compounded quarterly for a period of how many years? Between 2015, so it's a 5-year difference between 2015 and 2020. So it's going to be it's a 5-year difference. It's 5 times 4 because the compounder quarterly. So lana it's 20, the end value it's 20 minus 1 divide by 0,085 divided by 4 divided by 4. So therefore in other words ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi ama equal payments or ama annuities wami lawa contributor towards iloga sinking fund yam azoba how much. So therefore, let's manipulate this equation to make x the subject of the formula. Give out 230,848 times 0,085 divided by 4 divided by the bracket 1 plus 0,085 over 4 exponent 20 minus 1 is equal to x. So you cross multiply la, ne? Now cross multiply and you divide up both sides by this bracket. So the bracket will cancel a bracket and then pass over now this bracket. So therefore the x is the subject of the formula again, man. So it's 230,848 times 0,085 divided by 4, all divided by 1 plus 0,085 for exponent 20 minus 1. So therefore our answer is 9,383.26 cents. So every month the company should contribute this much every quarter into a sinking fund, so that by 2020 babana le mali le to replace the old printer. Okay, yeah, new question kamla. Okay, 6.2 bakhuluma ngolirato ke. Now let's move away from the business the business of iloga printer in 6.1. Now it's a different story ke manje la. Bakhuluma ngolirato. Lerato wishes to apply for a home loan. Lerato uthola isipano yabona. Nakathola isipano, so she's been employed. I'm just creating a scenario manje. She's been working maybe for 4 years, 5 years, ne? Therefore sekane lo guys, sekane good credit record, unani futhi une bank statement, a well paying job, mhlambe uyi CFO in a CFO kwenye company, so yabona. So udecide ukuthenga ilo kanje indlu manje, ne? So akakhona ukufinance indlu yakhe cash, so therefore decide to approach a bank to get to apply for a home loan. Now the bank charges interest at 11% per annum, ne? The key word lana, it's loan, ne? Loan. Loans is a calculator using what formula? The present value formula. The bank charges interest on loans, by the way. The bank charges interest at 11% per annum compounded monthly. She can afford a monthly installment of 9,000 rand. Ne? So we are bank lapho ufika tshela iloganje i-bank manager athi no, ngifuna a home loan, ne? Ngifuna le home loan lena, ngifuna ukuthatha i-loan ngifinance iloga indlu yami, but I can only afford to pay 9,000 rand for that loan. Angazi ukuthi uzonginika ngayo how much, but mina ngize lana ngithi I can only afford 9,000 rand every single month ukuze ngikwazi ukubhadala leyo loan leyo, ne? She can only afford a monthly installment of 9,000 rand and wants to repay the loan over a period of 15 years. Yinto azikhulumayo lezi bank. Athi no, ngizokhona ukukhipha i-9,000 rand for a period of 15 years, ne? She can make the first monthly repayment 1 month after the loan is granted. Calculate to the nearest 1,000 rand the maximum amount that Lerato can borrow from the bank. So ngikhona ukubhadala i-9,000 rand for 15 years. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi ungangiboleka malini, yabo, to finance indlu yami. So now let's calculate leyo amount leyo. Data, let's take out the data. We are given n is what? It's 15. It's 15 years, but the 15 years must be multiplied by 12 because it's compounded monthly. So it's 15 times 12. Answer is 180 is equal to n is equal to 180. Then I is equal to 11%. It's 0.11 divided by 12 compounded monthly. X is equal to 9,000 rand. Lawa ama annuities wakhe or ama frequent payments azowayenza to pay back the loan, including ama interest wakhona. And then what else do I need? I need the present value. What's the present value? What's the amount? What is the amount? What is the amount of money? What is the amount of money that Lerato borrowed from the bank? It's funokwazi. So present value is equal to x1 minus 1 plus I exponent minus n divided by I equal to what's x? It's 9,000 rand. 1 minus, okay, this is a textbook example. It's simple. Ingakwaris kangako. You shouldn't worry kangako. Minus n, it's 180 divided by 0.11 divided by 12 equal to 9,000 rand times 1 minus 1 plus 0.11 divided by 12 exponent negative 180 0.11 divided by 12 1. Answer is 79 183 7.43. My answer is 2. So bank is omnikeza is 791,837 rand, 40 and 43 cents, not comma, but imali sibiza njalo sithi 791,837 rand and 43 cents. So now final answer yethu for question kaLerato 6.2. So ibhank izomnikeza le mali lena so that she can finance idladla lakhe or indlu yakhe. So thanks for watching. Ivideo yethu izophelela lana. Nangabe we enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us discuss. Nangabe new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Asibonane kule video elandelayo ozobe uyibukela. Sharp.